Jai Shri Ram. Mental strength. All about it. Ways to be so. Quotes, anecdotes, etc. etc. Now let me read out the response of this AI. Mental strength is one of those phrases that sounds like it belongs on a gym poster, but underneath it lies a formidable subject. How to remain inwardly free when life is doing its best to push your buttons. Lovely. For a Kathavachak, it is especially fertile territory because it sits at the crossroads of Gita, psychology, neuroscience, character, humor, adversity, discipline, and spiritual freedom. Oh, yes. Mental strength, the complete map. I would define it this way. Where can I get a model of the human brain rubber? I just want it. I'll buy it today. I'll try on Flipkart. Mental strength is the capacity to experience reality fully without allowing every experience to dictate your thoughts, emotion. Correct. That means you are immune. Sthita Prajna, second chapter 54 to 72, Bhagavad Gita. Okay. And 14th chapter 21 to 27. And 12th chapter 13 to 20. Okay. It is not becoming emotional. No, no, not becoming emotionless. No, not at all. It's not suppressing anger. It is manyo, showing where anger is necessary. Uh, Rama used anger whenever necessary. Krodham maharamasya, rosham maharamasya. So know when to show anger. It's not pretending everything is wonderful. Absolutely not. It's not. It is not reacting. In fact, not overreacting. It is the ability to say, I feel this, I see this, but I still choose what I do next. Yeah. The tiny gap between stimulus and response is what is where character is forged. The 12 pillars of mental strength. Acceptance of reality. The mentally weak mind says this should not be happening. The strong mind says it is happening. Now what? Acceptance isn't approval. You can hate injustice and still accept that injustice has occurred. Reality gets the first vote, you get the second. Emotional regulation. It's not I never get angry. I told you that just now. Useful sequence. Notice, name, breathe, pause, choose and act. Pause. Instead of trigger, explosion, regret, explanation. Delayed gratification. Marshmallow test. Hmm. Can I tolerate discomfort now for something better later? Exercise when you don't feel like exercising. Okay, remain silent. Remain silent when retaliation would feel delicious. Save money when consumption is tempting. The ability to say not now is an extraordinary superpower. Marshmallow test, EQ test. Take the EQ test and learn about the marshmallow test on YouTube. Tolerance of uncertainty. The human mind desperately wants closure. What will happen? What does he think? Will I succeed? What if? What if? What if? Mental strength develops when we can say, I don't know yet, and I can still function. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I have created 5 Saurampe panels, and the sixth one I am creating today. That means so much literature on Rama. If you are a Ram Bhakta, you will dance in joy after listening to me as you listen to me. But I don't know when the date will come, whether it comes or not, my work continues. I don't know yet, and I can still function. That is psychological oxygen. Resilience. High frustration tolerance. Yada kandukapatina utpatati arya patannapi तदा तदा अनार्यपतति मृत्पिंडपतनम यथा. Arya is one, if he falls, he will bounce back with increased vigor. Unlike the Anarya, uncivilized Philistine, who, if he happens to fall, he will lie there like a lump of dead clay. यदा कंदुकपातेन उत्पतति आर्य पतन्नपि तदा अनार्यपतति मृत्पिंडपतनम यथा. Oh, I managed to memorize it correctly. Sometimes adversity should change you. The best metaphor is bend, learn, rebuild. A tree that survives a storm does not remain the same tree. Its roots become different. Same here. I've been betrayed by every person I trusted except my wife and kids and my dog. Cognitive flexibility. A powerful mind can change its mind. Ah, that lovely quote. If you can't change your mind, the question is, do you still have one? Huh? Weakness says, I have already decided. Strength says, show me the evidence. Ask yourself, what evidence supports my belief? What evidence contradicts it? What am I assuming? Could I be wrong? What would change my mind? Intellectual humility is mental musculature, which the followers of these two desert cults don't have. I dread having to, enter into some kind of a shastrat with these scoundrels, because you never know when they would renounce that their target is your neck. Self discipline. Motivation is weather. Motivation is weather, it keeps changing. Discipline is architecture. If you depend on motivation, your life becomes a hostage to your mood. Knowing when to change your mood, acknowledging your mood, knowing your mood also. Some people say, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. Okay, these are idiots. Emotional stupidity. So, if you go to the gym and though you're not feeling like working out, don't go to a gym. Build a gym in your home. You don't need too much equipment. You need a couple of dumbbells. I have 2 kilo dumbbells, 3 kilo dumbbells, 5 kilo dumbbells, 10 kilo dumbbells, and even more. Of course, I wouldn't recommend that you have all those. 2, 3, 5, and 10 should be enough. And then chest press. And if you can afford a leg press, wonderful. And all the other small gadgets, In fact, you don't need anything else. Eh? This is sufficient. If you can get a lat machine with which you can do triceps exercise also, that will be nice. So the mentally strong person, no, if you work out, you will get motivated, and even if you are not feeling like working out, work out, because that's, endorphins get released and you start feeling highly motivated to work out. Motivation comes with the workout, and motivation comes with the eating also. Appetite comes with the eating. I don't have to feel like doing it in order to do it. Ability to endure discomfort. Cold showers are optional. Arey, what is that? Shatam vihaya bhoktavyam sahasram snanamacharit. Sahasram snanamacharit. Laksham vihaya dhatavyam kotim tyaktva harim bhajit. Psychological discomfort is take bath. Yeah, people, you should take at least 3 baths in a day. If not three, two at least. Sometimes I take 4. You don't have to apply all these chemical deodorants, and just have a nice cold shower. Oh, it is very rejuvenating. Psychological discomfort is it? Criticism, boredom, loneliness, failure, embarrassment, uncertainty, temptation, waiting, being misunderstood. Huh? The ability to remain composed through these experiences dramatically expands one freedom. I'll read it again for you. Ability to endure discomfort, okay, which is enormous. Cold showers are optional. Psychological discomfort isn't optional. Criticism, boredom, loneliness, failure, embarrassment, uncertainty, temptation, waiting, being misunderstood. The ability to remain composed through these experiences dramatically expands one's freedom. So wonderful. Responsibility. The victim question. Whose fault is this? I think you are an idiot if you blame somebody. Eh? Till you don't blame anybody, you're fine. Whose fault is this? The powerful question is, what is now within my control? There may be things that are absolutely not your fault. Serenity prayer. Learn the serenity prayer and the gestalt prayer. The serenity prayer. Let me see if I can recollect it. Lord, give me the serenity to tolerate what I cannot change, and the courage to change what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Gestalt prayer. Gestalt means the whole thing, holistic, taking everything into account. Eh? Uh, if I meet you, I'm not here to live up to your expectations. You are not here to live up to my expectations. if we happen to meet each other, and if we can change and probably whatever, not like George Bush now. It's fine. If not, it cannot be helped. Look up the Gestalt prayer. It's a nice one. Basically, it means I'm not here to live up to your expectations. You're not here to live up to mine. And let us say we meet and we adjust, and that's good. But if we don't, uh, nothing can be changed. It's all right. You'll have to live with it. Huh? You don't expect a pig to become like a cow or vice versa. Bad example. Okay. But something can be not your fault and still become your responsibility to deal with. Yeah, that distinction is gold. Yeah, you have to tolerate. People will hurt you, but you have to decide. Who's that fellow who said that? Huh? Bob Marley. Bob Marley said, "Everyone in life will hurt you. Huh? You must decide for whom you are going to, who is worth being hurt for. Everyone will hurt you. Decide who is worth being hurt for." Detachment from approval. Correct. No seeking validation from outsiders. I'm happy Hanuman gives me validation every day. If your emotional state depends upon applause, you have outsourced your nervous system. Praise comes, criticism comes, neither should become your master. Okay? Samatvam yoga uchyati. Samatvam yoga uchyati. तुल्यनिंदा स्तुतिर्मौनी संतुष्टो येन केनचितः अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर् भक्तिमान में प्रियो निराहा. I don't care what the world says or thinks. Equanimity is yoga, not indifference. Equilibrium. Courage. Courage is not absence of fear. Fear present action nevertheless. Courage is equal to fear plus meaning plus action. I am reminded of Manekshaw, Sam Manekshaw. I'll quickly tell you the story. In one contingent where Sam was posted as the in charge, there was a soldier, I believe some Ram Singh, who was 7 feet tall, and he was a bully. Everyone was scared of him because he was very strong too. So they all told him, "Sir, please be careful with this fellow. He's dangerous, unpredictable." So Sam did something amazing. He called Ram Singh and asked Ram Singh to stand guard outside his tent. Now nobody gives orders like that to Ram Singh, given Ram Singh's reputation. So everyone was wondering what's happening. And Ram Singh stood like a sentinel, those British boobies, guards silently. And Sam also told him, I believe, "Wherever I go, you just have to follow me right behind me without uttering a word." So it was a very interesting spectacle for people to see. Wherever Sam went, Ram Singh was walking right behind him, silently, a huge towering figure. This went on for many days and it went on and on. One day in a private conversation, somebody asked, "Sam, aren't you scared of that fellow? He's a dangerous fellow, he's a thuggish kind of a guy." So Sam gave a classic reply. Listen carefully. Sam said, "Yes, I'm scared. डर तो सबको लगता है रे, पर दिखाना नहीं है." Oh my God. Courage is much more interesting. You remove fear and you don't necessarily get courage. Courage is fear plus meaning plus action. That's exactly what Sam Manekshaw did. Meaning, perhaps the deepest pillar. People can tolerate astonishing suffering if they believe the suffering has meaning. Same here. I hope someday Rama will recognize me and the world will put me on a pedestal and they will listen to me. I can change the world. That's my conviction. Civil courage. That's my civil courage. No problem. Viktor Frankl's logotherapy central insight was essentially this: a person who has a why can endure an extraordinary how. Logotherapy. Mental strength, therefore, isn't merely about toughness, it's about having something worth being tough for. The Gita is psychology of mental strength. Bhagavad Gita is practically a laboratory of mental resilience. Krishna doesn't tell Arjuna, "Don't feel anything." He meets him in a psychological collapse, then begins rebuilding him. Endure the changing sensations. Matra sparshastu kaunteya Sitoshna sukhadukkada Agamapayano nityam tam stitikshasva bharata. Learn to endure them. Titiksha, cultivated capacity to endure life's opposites without psychological collapse. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo. Hold pleasure in plain gain and loss, victory and defeat with equanimity. This is mental strength stripped to its skeleton. Yogastah kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Established in yoga, perform your action abandoning attachment. Act completely, cling lightly. Magnificent psychological advice. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. 6.5. Uddaredatmanatmanam atmanam avsadiyet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Lift yourself by yourself, do not degrade yourself. The mind can become your staircase or your sinkhole. Mind can become your staircase or your sinkhole. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaiva atmanana jitaha. Anatmanastu shatrutve. For one who has conquered the self is a friend. The same mind that tortures one person can train another. Mental strength is trainable. Think of it as a psychological progressive overload. You don't become mentally strong by reading 500 quotes about toughness. You become strong by repeatedly doing difficult things without abandoning your values and convictions. Daily training. Do one thing you don't feel like doing. Delay one unnecessary gratification. Or delay one necessary gratification also. Sit quietly for 10 minutes. I can do that. I always do that. Enjoy my company. Observe an unpleasant emotion without immediately acting upon it. Yes, I am doing it for quite some time now. Quite some time now. Do something physically difficult. Yeah, always do that. Receive one criticism without defending yourself immediately. Wow. Finish something you started. Correct. That's what I do incrementally. Because inch by inch life is a cinch, yard by yard life is hard. Everything comes in degrees. Deliberately tolerate a little boredom. I love boredom. At night ask, where did my mind control me today? Where did I control my mind? The last question is particularly important. The mental gym. Where did my mind control me today? Where did I control it? Mental gym. Yeah, that's a nice question. You could construct an entire talk around this analogy. Physical gym, mental gym. Resistance, mental gym, difficulty. Repetitions, practice. Progressive overload, increasing challenges. Recovery, rest. Trainer, mentor, form, values. Muscle memory, habit. Correct, repetition, practice. Bruce Lee, said, I'm scared of a person who knows not, 10,000 kicks, but one who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Injury, trauma, setback. Fitness, psychological resilience. Spiritual rehabilitation professional. I would like to call myself that. SRP, spiritual rehabilitation professional. You don't build mental strength by avoiding difficult situations. Muscle protected from all resistance remains weak. Mind protected from every frustration becomes extraordinarily fragile. Be in the eye of the storm, in the thick of the battle. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist imprisoned in Nazi concentration camps, loses almost everything, yet he notices something extraordinary. His captors can control his environment, but there remains a tiny domain they cannot completely command, his inner response. That insight became central to man's search for meaning. Lesson: between what happens to us and what we do about it lies a space. In that space lies freedom. What happens to you and what we do about it. In that space lies freedom. कृते प्रतिकृतिं कुर्यात् हिंसने प्रतिहिंसितं तत्र दोषं न पश्यामि षटे शाट्यं समाचरेत्. Revenge is a dish which is best when it is cold. Epictetus. Epictetus was born enslaved. His Stoic philosophy later became one of history's great traditions of psychological resilience. His famous distinction: some things are up to us, some things are not. Under my control, act. Outside my control, release. Serenity prayer. What remains is a startlingly clean life. Under my control, act. Outside my control, ignore. 27 years in prison, Nelson Mandela. He survived imprisonment. He emerged without allowing hatred to become the architect of his personality, not embittered. I find people are embittered, frustrated, road rage, itching to fight, extremely irritable, like bulls in china shops everywhere. That is a much higher form of strength than revenge. The prison may imprison the body, hatred can imprison the mind long after the door opens. Correct. Indian tradition, think of Arjuna, mentally strong at the beginning. He wasn't. Collapses, bow slips, body trembles, mind overwhelmed. Krishna doesn't say, "What a pathetic fellow." Pull yourself together. He begins a profound psychological reconstruction. Mental strength isn't never breaking down. Learning how to rebuild yourself intelligently. Most dangerous mental habits. If I were giving young people a lecture, I would put these on a giant screen. Catastrophizing. One bad thing happened, becomes everything is ruined. Rumination. Chewing yesterday's food indefinitely. Brooding. Personalization. Mind reading. Don't do that. Fortune telling. Yeah. Slippery slope. Comparison. Don't compare. Comparisons are odious. Shakespeare. Resentment. Drinking poison while waiting for someone else to die. Holding a live charcoal, wishing to throw it on someone but it burns your hand. Perfectionism. If I can't do it perfectly, it won't begin. No, I don't wait for that. I keep doing. Avoidance. I won't face it because facing it makes me uncomfortable. Face everything. Face the brutes. Vivekananda's, story. This thing really is dangerous. Confrontation when appropriate and gradual teaches I can handle this. Quotes Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it. Seneca. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Correct. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Serenity prayer. Nietzsche. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the transcendentalist. Hmm? What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us, behind us, before us, within us. उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानम् आत्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः 6.5. Devil's advocate. We should be careful with the modern cult of mental toughness. Correct. That movie, Jim Carrey, Yes Man or something. Endurance, sometimes endurance is strength, but sometimes leaving is strength. Sometimes forgiveness is, sometimes boundaries are strength. Sometimes fighting is strength, sometimes walking away is strength. Sometimes persistence is courage, sometimes giving up is courage. Knowing whom not to fight with, changing direction. He has nothing to lose. Don't fight with that idiot. Person who tolerates abuse indefinitely isn't necessarily resilient. You don't tolerate abuse indefinitely. You may simply have learned to tolerate abuse. The better definition is mental strength is not the capacity to endure everything. It is the wisdom to know what should be endured and what should be changed and what should be resisted and what should be released. Now we are getting somewhere. The ultimate test. When life punches you in the face, 4 questions. What happened? Facts. 6 thinking hats. What am I feeling? What story am I telling myself? What is the wisest action available now? Finest formulation. Mental strength ultimately moves through 4 stages. Control the body, train the attention. Don't react, because if you react, you will overreact. Educate the emotions, unless the sky is falling on your head. Educate the emotions. Govern the mind. Take the EQ test. Paradoxically, the final stage. Know what cannot be controlled and stop trying to control it. I have learned this lesson. That is where mental strength begins to ripen into wisdom. Oh, the unbreakable mind. With Gita versus Stoicism, neuroscience, sporting anecdotes, humor, practical mental strength, few deliberately provocative audience challenges that become a cracker of a lecture. Wow, amazing, yaar. Jai Shri Ram.